love. Thank you, Jayesh sir, Principal Secretary of Industries and Commerce, Government of Telangana. Thank you, Ms. Shikha Goyal ji, Director, Anti-Corruption Bureau, Government of Telangana. Thank you so much for gracing the occasion. Thank you so much for always advising us as we continue to build this industry in a more structured manner. You know, it is said that if you vividly imagine something and ardently desire it, and sincerely believe in it, and also enthusiastically act upon it, it will inevitably become a reality. Again, I am Charles Mahmood and I am the founder of the NRAI Hyderabad chapter, thanks to our past president Anurag Kathriyar. But today I am going to take you through a journey, so let the creative juices flow, about imagining the future of the F&B industry in a way that first we can dream in our mind and then make it a reality. So are you ready? Can I have your focuses, please? Everybody focus on the next 4 minutes, not beyond that. So from the first restaurant, which was opened maybe 250 years ago in Paris in 1765, I can't even pronounce it because I don't know French, to the first few in India, like the Leopold Cafe or the Dorabjis, the famous Dorabjis, which was there. I think this industry has really evolved, especially in the last 20, 30 years, thanks to the legends present here. Whether it's my mentor, A.D. Singh, or Riaz here, or many more past presidents who are here today. And let's imagine that how this industry evolved from this to the next slide, which will come to you, about the new restaurants, the Indian accent. We have done this in the last 250 years, which is a big achievement for the F&B industry. Now let us imagine, how can we innovate? How can we disrupt this industry? And how can we completely change the game of F&B, having come this far? Let us understand our customer better. Let us understand how we can provide better working conditions for these customers, Let us understand the customer better, and let us build great teams and understand how we can make better work conditions for these people. How do we better pay grades for these people? How do we make it easy to build a restaurant? How do we make it easy to create a restaurant? How do we make the atmosphere of working better so that everybody who works in this industry keeps looking to the future? At the same time, let us not forget what our true Indian values are. Our values of how do we make this industry function in a way which is particularly related to the famous saying of Atiti Devo Bhava, which is what India is all about. Our guest is God. Clearly this video is going a bit slow in my speaking ability. But having said that, now next, let's imagine something for the next generation. What do we do? What are the 5 E's that we can adapt? How do we entice a customer? How do we get that customer to then enter our restaurants? After he enters the restaurant, how do we engage with this customer? By engaging at multiple levels, not just by taking an order or receiving them, but complete engagement from end to end. How do we thereafter provide an exit for that customer to leave the restaurant in a way that is happy for them? And after they leave, how do we extend the relation? Can we extend it through loyalty programs? Can we build a relation with them which continues beyond the restaurant? This is something which you all must imagine as to the next steps for the industry. Now, having imagined the 5 Ds, which I call the new generation of customer relationship, how do we capture data of these customers? How can we put this data together? How do we build it and understand what could be the eating and drinking patterns of our customers? What a customer likes? Can we not predict it? Can we not assess it? Let's use all this data and build AI tools around it. That could be the next generation where we innovated through technology for our industry. By doing so, one realizes, and I talk about this because I work in a lot with healthcare as well, and the amount of work that AI has done in healthcare. Let's see how we can do that to perhaps build a digital DNA of our customer, which could understand the customer better. So let's imagine that we are able to build this DNA where we are able to predict the mood of the customer who walks in, perhaps make a suggestion to them through this digital DNA, and thereafter in future perhaps also trigger orders when the customer walks in from their mind. Now I'll take it a step ahead and talk about what one can do in the future, which is what everybody's been talking about, the metaverse. How can I build a restaurant in the metaverse? I've put some images together for you all to see. Now the metaverse, as you all know, is a place which is completely virtual. It's a parallel world where a lot of efficiencies can be done. There is metaverse being used in multiple areas of testing. So can you imagine building a restaurant in the metaverse? Can you pilot this restaurant there? Can you design this restaurant there? Can you understand whether a certain recipe is working in the metaverse? Remember, this is cost saving. You're not doing it physically. Let us imagine a world where we've built the restaurant, where we've piloted it, where we've tested it, where we've touched the food. I'm sure there'll be levels where you taste the food. So let's imagine a way to mitigate our risks by building a beautiful world there, completely virtual. And now the next topic, which I believe is something which we all should perhaps do much earlier than that. How do we bring in technology in food delivery? Food delivery is perhaps been the biggest change of our industry in the last 2 years particularly. Can we use food delivery to be done by drones? It's happening in some places, but can we do it better? How can we use this to reduce the traffic, the travel times? How can we reduce this to reduce the carbon footprint, because the pollution that it causes to move food around? Let us imagine food delivery happening through robots as well. Perhaps our kitchen food coming in, or our raw material coming in through robots. Let us imagine a future where we are able to use the Hyperloop, where we are able to bring in, for example, fresh hot fish and chips from London all the way to Hyderabad in a fraction of a few minutes. Let us imagine how we can completely connect the world in this way. Now, definitely on a more humanitarian front, let us understand what our industry is capable of doing. Let us imagine how we can flatten the hunger curve. COVID has taught us, we did this, NRAI did this, and I think we all can do it more. We have 5 lakh outlets that we represent as per the last census that we did amongst ourselves. But imagine if each of those outlets just gave 2 meals a day, the impact that we could have to flatten the hunger curve. We would be able to feed 1 million people a day. And that is something which this industry is capable of doing. It's the scale of things. So I'd also like to, in the end, towards the end, let us not forget the environment that we're living in. Let us not forget how the environment of the global warming that we're facing, the pollution that we're facing. Let us remember that the world is going to be filled, the oceans of the world will be filled with 1/7 of the oceans will be filled with plastic. There's going to be a lot of plastic that we generate. I mean, we had Kavita had a thought that we're going to do a no plastic event today. Perhaps the next one would be aimed at that. But can we imagine a world which is a clean world, a green world, an environmentally sound world. Let us ask ourselves, what can we do to make this world a better place environmentally? Let us imagine, can we come up with a recycling policy? Can we come up with a zero plastic policy? Can we only buy ethically grown produce for our restaurants? Can we buy local produce in our restaurants to ensure that the carbon footprint is reduced? Remember, most of our restaurants buy imported stuff. Remember the amount of carbon footprint that we're leaving on this world. Let us imagine a cleaner, environmentally sound world which we leave for our next generation. In the end, I would like to acknowledge the pillars of our industry, and that is our workforce. Many are present here. We've had the day filled with young people who've come in from colleges. They were in the workshops. It was beautiful to see that we were nurturing and we were able to create an entire community which now looks up to an industry which is getting more and more organized. Let us imagine a world for our industry with enough trained chefs, enough bartenders, enough service staff, enough technology enabling these people. Let us see how we can imagine a world where the skills can be upgraded. Let us imagine a better workforce balanced with women representation in this. Let us imagine that within our industry, where we always typically had the traditional chef, kitchen, back of the house, front of the house, let us innovate and see how we can create multiple career options in this industry. Can all the big companies not have a chief innovation officer? Can we not imagine a business with great CXO levels working in our companies? Can we imagine an industry where we have specialized colleges? We have colleges for the hotel management companies, hotel management industries. But can we do it for the food service sector? MBA programs built for the restaurant industry, restaurant management. Can we imagine the food service industry to be a respectable industry as a preferred option of choice, not a backup? So in the end, I'd like you all to imagine that we can innovate and inspire each other and find ways to make this dream and vision a reality. Thank you all for being here today, and it's a pleasure to have you all in Hyderabad. Namaste, thank you so much.
Could I please request our chief guest, Mr. Jayesh Sanjan, to please come on stage and address the meeting.
Thank you very much. First of all, my apologies that I got delayed for a variety of reasons, and our minister who was expected here, he could not make it at all because our assembly session is going on. Today is the last day, and obviously schedules and timetables become out of control. But nevertheless, I'm very happy that I'm here. I'm delighted that the NRAI have chosen to host their annual convention in our city. I was told that this event has never moved out of Delhi and Bombay, and to get it hosted in Hyderabad means a lot to us. I would like to welcome the senior representatives of NRAI, the top leaders. Actually, it is rather late in the day to welcome anyone, but let me say that I'm very happy to see them. And I would like to acknowledge industry leaders like Mr. A.D. Singh. I would like to acknowledge Mr. Kabir Suri, Mr. Riyaz Amladi, Mr. Daryani, Mr. Sagar Daryani. I was told that Mr. Samir Kukreja was also here till a while ago, in absentia, recognizing his presence. I'm also very happy that large number of you have expressed your interest in expanding your operations in Hyderabad. or setting up new units here. We just saw signing of commitment letters of worth almost 500 crores. This again is a very important milestone for us and shows the kind of positivity, the kind of sentiments the city offers to the industry. And particularly those of you who are still kind of undecided. I know, for example, of course he has left, that we don't have a Nirulas here. Samir is not here to directly kind of put him on the spot, but I know that he's not here. Even Riaz, I don't think you have anything here in Hyderabad. So there are quite a few of you who don't have anything here, but I'm sure that your impressions about the city, the capacity of this place, to support this industry, etc., your impressions would have changed. But nevertheless, as I said, this is an industry which holds immense respect in the government. We value this industry quite a lot. You would have noticed, some of you would have come to Hyderabad sometimes back. Every time you come to this city, you find lots of new things happening, lots of changes happening. This is one city which we never rest on our laurels. We are always improving continuously. And till recently, till some years ago, we used to compare ourselves with, let us say, Bangalore or a Pune, with whom we really compete for investments in the IT sector, in the manufacturing sector. But those days are behind us. Now we compare ourselves with Singapore, with Bangkok, some of the developed cities in the West. So, and obviously, when we are contemplating our city, we match some of the best in the world. It is not that the government alone can make that transformation happen. Transformation happens with the help of multiple stakeholders, and one of the key stakeholders are people in the F&B industry. What kind of restaurants, what kind of outdoor spaces, what kind of experience